In today's Halacha, we will discuss the detailed laws involved in the saying of Vesein Umatar. So it's known that in Eretz Yisrael, we begin saying Vesein Umatar within the blessing of Baruch Aleinu and Shemana Esrei, starting from Zayin Mar Cheshvan. That means that having started from Thursday night, we already began saying Vesein Umatar in Ma'ariv. In Chutz La'aretz, in all areas outside of Eretz Yisrael, they only begin saying Vesein Umatar starting the 5th or the 6th of December, depending on whether the year is a leap year. This year, that February was not a leap year, we will begin saying Vesein Umatar in the diaspora on the night of the 5th of December, which is practically Thursday night, the 13th of Kislev. What is the meaning behind this prayer? So, Mashav Ruach Me'ira Geshem, we discussed in one of the previous lessons, is a praise to Hashem and not a request for rain. Only starting from Zayin Mar Cheshvan Eretz Yisrael and the 5th of December in Chutz La'aretz is there an actual request for rain to come down. While Mashav Ruach praises Hashem that He's the one that brings rain, the Vesein Umatar now requests from Hashem to bring the rain. It's brought in the Shulchanaruchharav that the reason why in Eretz Yisrael we delayed asking for this bracha until now is because of the Eilei Regalim. At the Eilei Regalim, which the Alter Rebbe writes, were accustomed to come to Eretz Yisrael even during Galus, even today. So when they would return home, it would take them time, and it wasn't wanted that they should have difficulty traveling due to the rain, and therefore we delay asking Hashem for rain until the last of the travelers have returned home, which is around Zayin Mar Cheshvan. Regarding if someone mistakenly in the diaspora already began saying Vesein Umatar, so the halacha is that if he said Vesein Umatar after Zayin Mar Cheshvan before the 5th of December, and he lives in a land in which rain is not damaging towards the country during this time, and thus rain is not a siman klala, then he is not required to repeat Shemana Esrei. Nevertheless, if he wills to do so, he can repeat Shemana Esrei as a teres nadava. This is brought down in the Alter Rebbe in Sif Aleph. Regarding those living in Eretz Yisrael now, if they forgot to say Vesein Umatar, and the same will apply after the 5th of December for those living in Chutz La'aretz. So if one forgot to say Vesein Umatar, there's a few different areas where you can make it up. If you already finished the bracha of Baruch Aleinu, but did not yet say the first word of the Kabbalah Shaifa, then he is to say Vesein Umatar Levracha in between. If he already began the Kabbalah Shaifa, then he is to say Vesein Umatar in Shemaya Tefillah prior to the words of Ki'atu Shemaya Tefillah Kopeh. If one only remembered after that point, after Shema Aleinu, but prior to Ritzei, then he is to say between Shema Aleinu and Ritzei. If he already began Ritzei, then he must go back to Baruch Aleinu. If one already completed Shemana Esrei, and then remembered that he forgot to say Vesein Umatar, then he must repeat Shemana Esrei from the beginning. The same applies regarding one who is in doubt if he said it for the first 30 days. Regarding those that are traveling between Zayin Mar Cheshvan and the 5th of December, between Eretz Yisrael and Chutz La'aretz, so the following is the halachas regarding how they are to daven, what nusach they are to daven in Shemana Esrei. So one who is traveling from Eretz Yisrael to the diaspora, between Zayin Mar Cheshvan and the 5th of December, in which case he already began saying Vesein Umatar in Eretz Yisrael, then he is to continue reciting Vesein Umatar even when he comes to Chutz La'aretz. And this applies even if he is a citizen of Chutz La'aretz, meaning if he came, for example, for a visit in Eretz Yisrael, and he remained past Zayin Mar Cheshvan and began saying Vesein Umatar, he is to continue saying it when he returns. Nevertheless, if he is chazen for a shul, he is not to recite Vesein Umatar in his repetition Shemana Esrei, as this will contradict what the diaspora is doing at this time. And therefore, in his Chazar Sashat, he should say the same bracha. Regarding the opposite case of one who traveled from the diaspora to Eretz Yisrael between Zayin Mar Cheshvan and the 5th of December, so it's brought down in later Achronim, in today's Poskim, that he is to recite Vesein Umatar just like Bnei Eretz Yisrael, and this is especially being that there are poskim as Bron the Alter Rebbe in Kuf Yud Zayin Sif Aleph that hold that in all lands that require rain, they can also begin, if they want, to say the same Talamata from Zayin Mar Cheshvan and even during the summer. So therefore, in such a case that he's right now in Eretz Yisrael, certainly he can say the same Talamata. Nevertheless, if he also plans to return before the 5th of December, meaning that he plans to enter Eretz Yisrael after Zayin Mar Cheshvan and return before the 5th of December to Chutz La'aretz, then some poskim side that he should simply recite the same Talamata in Shemei Tefillah and not within the bracha of Baruch Aleinu.